personally made a plea to Pam to take puppies. So the article is incorrect in that it states that there had already been a previous arrangement for the puppies to go to the Humane Society. That is incorrect. I made the phone call on Monday, and once the 5 days was over, which was Tuesday, Barbie came and did intake on the puppies and took them back. And I have sent semen at the Humane Society, and I too want to thank you, because it's truly a difference in the way they look and they're being cared for, and I really appreciate it. And I know, once again, the Humane Society is being saddled with the expense of taking care of these animals that originally started out as a county responsibility. So I just hope that everyone in the room realizes that Animal Control and the Humane Society are two separate entities, and we are not funding the Humane Society, and yet they were willing to take that responsibility and take on the cost of taking care of those puppies, and I truly do appreciate it. Thank you.
I too would like to thank you, but in fairness to Jody, who I believe the quote that you're talking about, I believe it was an incorrect assumption
Yes.
based upon communication between her and our animal control officer as to why that quote was printed. So I think that needs to be clear.
I just want to make sure that everybody understands what actually happened.
Well, since we're entertaining comments, how about somebody let us know exactly what happened? Because from what I understand, the commissioner took somebody else down there, and then there was no air conditioning on or anything else. Is there not supposed to be morning checks every morning, every afternoon, especially during hot season? What's your procedures? I see where everybody jumped right in to call state police and stuff, and to be honest with you, I think that was stupid. But I know why.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Well, I know that. I know why they did it, because they wanted this, they wanted to bring it out sensationalized. You know what? You ought to have an investigation, and whoever's at fault of not taking care of those puppies either should be reprimanded, fired, suspended, or whatever, all the way to the management people. And put people into it that did it. Because that's what's going to be called for now that all this hoolah has happened.
I just want to say, you're looking right at me, so
Well,
just
I'm
give me a
just,
second.
you're kind of around the corner.
Okay. My reaction was to immediately come back here to the courthouse. I spoke with Jody first, told her what I was going to do, and then I contacted by email Pam and was immediately responded to. That was my part in that.
Okay, my question too is, as a commissioner, in my thought, your first duty to this county is to take care of the county business.
Absolutely.
Taking someone down there that has been totally negative towards the thing, it just seems to me like a perfect setup.
There was no setup.
Well,
had
I
no
don't know,
idea
to
where
me it
those
does.
puppies were.
I don't
Are you
understand,
s-
and
are you
I
really
remember
saying
being,
that?
and I remember being in a committee meeting here, or a meeting a couple, month ago, when your patrol officer strictly said he would prefer him to be notified if somebody was gonna be there, so he could be there.
He was not even in town.
Then the
And
manager,
at the
then it should
time
go
that
to
he
the
said
manager.
that, I also said that I was not going to allow myself to be, as long as I'm a sitting commissioner, if I want to go on the property that belongs to the county, I will do so. I had received emails previously over the weekend stating that there were puppies there, and they wanted to know if they were being cared for properly. I emailed Jody, who is the supervisor of animal control, and asked her what she knew about it. I have the email chain. She emailed me back and said that she wasn't sure, that she would try to find out. In the meantime, I do have a social friendship with Miss Lane, if that's what you're referring to. We went kayaking on Sunday. I said I was going to be going down on Monday to check on the puppies. She said, well, I would also like to see if they're being cared for. And I do consider her to be an expert in that field, since that's what she does for a living.
Well, to me, it's,
So,
to me as a
when I
commissioner.
went there, I had absolutely no idea that I was going to walk in on what I did. And Corey Barch, who is also an animal control officer, was present. He's the one who opened the door to the house, not I, because I don't have a key to the house. I did not have it with me. He also opened the door to the kennel. When I got there, there was a lock on the gate, which I did not have the combination to, and I contacted Jody, and she did get back to me with the combination. However, I did not open the house, I did not open the kennel, and there was an animal control officer there when the house was opened. I had no idea that I would find what I found.
On that same subject, I think it's important that we understand that the complaint was filed and the investigation is ongoing. We have invited that to continue and to talk to anybody, investigate all that they can to make sure that they have, or that they're doing their job. And I respect that, and I invite that. I think we all do.
Absolutely.
Please do a thorough investigation, because if we're doing something wrong, we need to fix it, and we will fix it. But in the meantime, let them do their job, investigate. And at this point in time, I don't think that we can add to it anymore, because, I mean, as far as comment goes, that's just my personal feeling.
You're probably right,
And
since
to
it's
let
an
them do
ongoing
that.
investigation.
Amy was first, Mary. I'll give you a second.
Did not plan to speak today, but I, as usual, come prepared with information. I would just like to read to you the West Virginia Cruelty to Animals Statutes. And this is 7-10-1, Deputy Sheriffs as Humane Officers. The sheriff of each county of this state shall annually designate by a record made in the office of the clerk of the county commission one of his or her deputies to act as a humane officer for the county. Or if the county commission and sheriff agree, the county dog warden may be designated to act as a humane officer or as an additional humane officer. Any person designated to act as a humane officer and all peace officers designated by law as a humane officer or an additional officer shall investigate all complaints made to him or her of cruel or inhumane treatment of animals within the county, and he or she shall personally see that the law relating to the prevention of cruelty to animals is enforced. The willful failure of such designate to investigate any complaint made to him or her and to take proper measures in such case or to perform his or her duty in any other respect may constitute good cause for removal from employment. I called Officer Seth Place, who I understand is a humane officer, while I was at the animal control facility. Didn't give him details, just told him that I had an incident there that I felt warranted him checking into. Please call me back. I have never received a return phone call from the humane officer. This Virginia code states the willful failure of such, that he should be removed.
You talked to Dennis about that?
No, I haven't. I just found this morning. I've been waiting for a return phone call. I also know that an investigation needs to include speaking to first-hand witnesses. I have not been contacted. Brenda has not been contacted. I don't believe Corey has been contacted. The quotes in the newspaper didn't have quotes from us, it had quotes from people that weren't even there. So how can you get accurate information if they're not investigating their first-hand witnesses? And to you, Mr. Seitz, there was no setup. I did not place those puppies in the cage. I did not leave them in that house without air conditioning, without water, without food, and without any animal control officer on duty all weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more